Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Zoe, the Quirky Coach, and this is a reading for the full moon in April, which is falling on the 7th or 8th of April, depending on what part of the world you live in. I'm recording this obviously during the coronavirus pandemic, and the chances are that you will be affected by it as you're watching this, and will have been affected by this if you should be watching it in future. So my reading is a full moon reading, but it is also relevant for all signs, whether you believe in astrology or not, it doesn't matter. This is more applicable to you being affected by the coronavirus. So I shall be using the cards from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck and also the Light Seers Tarot, which I think has a lovely modern energy. It's a light energy, which I believe is very appropriate for the challenging times that we're going through. So I had already shuffled the cards, and in fact this reading, well, I did it originally live on Facebook, and so I wanted to share it with you to pass on the messages. So please, if you enjoy this, do share it with others. So I'll just show you the cards as they're laid out here. And what I use is this general reading. So at the heart of the reading is you and your environment, or global environment in this case. Challenge and opportunity, something that we can let go of, and something that we can embrace as it comes towards us. So this is for you, for me, the collective, whoever will find it helpful. And I'm going to start off with a couple of the Queen of the Moon Oracle cards. So I'm just going to pop the camera back up again so I can share the cards with you. Right, okay. So the first one is the full moon card. Now this one is very appropriate. It's applicable for every full moon when we can claim our power, but particularly at this moment in time, when our lives are being so directly affected by the circumstances around the coronavirus. So whether or not you are a health worker, a support worker, a key worker, whether or not you've lost your job, whether you are working from home, whether you're elderly, we're all affected by this. And it can feel as if this wretched virus has taken away our power or autonomy. It's locked a lot of things away. So the idea is that in this time of the full moon, we can take back our power. So at the beginning of the April period of the full moon, do think about, what is it that I've lost my power over, and how have I given it away, and how can I get it back? The second one, because it's also a super moon, and this card is beautiful, and you can see the person there sitting looking at that lovely big moon and contemplating what is out there. And what we need to think about with a supermoon is, what do we want to attract into our lives? Because again, having got a lot taken away, we need to think about, when we're going through this, as we come out of it, what do we want to bring into our lives? So it's like the law of attraction. Now, I don't know about you, but I've tried many times with the law of attraction, and somehow or other in the past, I wasn't really doing it in a way that was appropriate. However, more recently, I think as we are starting to get a clearer idea of what we really want, we may be able to articulate it more. So do have a think about, what do you want to attract into your life now? So going to the reading, at the heart of the reading, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is you, it's me, it's us, as we are having accepted that there is a problem here. It's affected us all emotionally one way or another, and we are going to move away from this, hopefully as we move forward from April into May. And I love it that it's sort of on the water, and this cup here is like one of those bowls that you can float on the water and put a candle in. I've seen them in Thailand and India. And this person, having put the wish in the water of what she wants, is walking away now from the past, from things that didn't help in the past, that affected emotionally, and walking towards a brighter future. So that sunrise, and that is going to be what for the majority of us is going to be hopefully a future that will be better, but we've got to go through some tough times before we get there. Interestingly, in the environment, and I think this is like it's not just your environment, it is our environment, it is the planet. The Five of Pentacles. Pentacles is to do with prosperity, stability, it's earth energy, it's to do often with work, and the Five of Pentacles can very often be concerned with lack. So the planet really is feeling a lack of resources, a lack of money, a lack of work, but actually this person here who is, like the planet, overwhelmed with this lack of, there are many, many blessings. We just have to look up and see them. And I do really believe that with this environment card, it is about us actually looking up and seeing what we can be grateful for. Because in amongst all of this awful things that are going on, there is plenty to be grateful for, even if it is just having the health. And I know for some of you that will not be the case. You may not be healthy, or you may be losing loved ones. But for many, there is this time when we can look at the small blessings. I take it just being able in England to go out for a walk every day, and just get some fresh air and see the beautiful springing and coming to life as we go. In the challenge position, well, we wouldn't really expect anything less, would we? And for those of you who perhaps are not so familiar with the tarot, the death card does not mean death in itself, although obviously occasionally it does, and in these circumstances for some people that will be the case. But the important thing about the death card, and this one is called Death and Rebirth, the important thing about this card is that it indicates that you are going through a period of transformation. The challenge is to accept that, to let go of control, and to accept that you're going through this transformative time, which can feel sort of quite painful. I do actually, I'll be honest, like the death card. I'm a Scorpio ascendant, so maybe it's to do with that, but dealing with the deeper things of life. But actually, when we go through transformation, if you look at your own lives, anytime you've gone through that, hopefully you've been able to look back and say, well, yes, it might not have been great at the time, but actually better things came from it. And I genuinely believe that as we go through this and we allow that transformative process to take place, things will get better. They will. And this light, this beautiful shining light, is almost like the planet having that time of transformation to be reborn, and us along with it. So the challenge is to accept that transformation. It is happening. There's no escaping from it. We will all be changed by this. So accept it, go with it, in the knowledge that for many, many of us, it will be a much brighter future. In the opportunity, it's the Eight of Pentacles, and this can often represent, the sort of, well, in this case, it looks very abundant. It's about all the choices that we have, and I love the fact, again, it's Pentacles, so it's to do with work, it's to do with earth energy, it's to do with that grounding stability that can feel at times it's been rocked. And here we have all these lovely pentacles, and there she is. She's sort of having a look and saying, okay, well, what am I going to choose here? So the question for you, the opportunity for you, if you like, is to take time now and look at what are your opportunities. What could you give a go at? What could you try? Maybe something different that could bring in a different income stream, a different way of perhaps just taking up a new hobby or interest, or maybe just finally fulfilling your life's purpose, because we're going to have enough time, I think, at this moment to explore those options. Love the fact the chair, look, it's a lovely modern chair. I don't know if any of you know who Christine Keeler is with the Profumo scandal, but that chair has quite a resonance with that. So what can we let go of? And in the past position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. And what's fascinating, I think, in this deck, as many of you will know if you read the tarot or you know the tarot cards, the knights are usually on horses or on some kind of vehicle. And in this case, again, it's Pentacles, but he's got off the horse. Well, we've all had to get off our horses, haven't we, high or otherwise, to deal with this. Many of us, you know, whatever work you're in, if you're still working, the reason you'll still be working will probably be because you are needed to help us get through this. You're a key worker. And if you have been laid off, furloughed, or your business has stopped, you have got off that horse. And the thing is to recognize that you can get off it, and if you choose, and if it does not suit you, you can actually stay off that horse. And if we take that with the opportunities to look at the pentacles of opportunity, then you can see that there is a chance to let that abundance follow you. The horse is following you as well. You can get back on whenever you want. But if you've got off it and now that's the past, well, you can start to think, what do I want my future to look like? And then interestingly, in the future, and bearing in mind this is again for the first, for the next month, we have the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is often to do with childhood memories, and certainly in this one we've got the little boy there who has got his little puppy there, and then we've got the man with his grown-up dog later on. And I think it's that leading from our childhood to us and going back again. So maybe take this time in the next few weeks to reflect on maybe what have you lost from your childhood. Some of us haven't been connecting with our inner child too much recently, and that inner child is somebody that needs our attention. And you might look back to a time when you were a bit happier or a bit less stressed or a bit more carefree, and bring some of that childlike innocence back into life. Because for a lot of us, if we look at the children, many of them will be delighted to be at home, although perhaps they're already getting a bit bored. But they see it very differently from us, and if we're protecting them from it, then they're not seeing too much of the negative side of this. And there is something in this childish innocence that we can maybe bring into our current situation and take a bit of time out to reflect and allow that stress, that the feelings that we've been having recently to ease off as we go into a simpler, less complicated emotional state. So that's our reading there. So it's all about accepting where we are, accepting we're going through a period of transition, accepting that around us there is an awful lot of stress and strain, but there are positive signs and messages for us for the future. And I'd like to finish now on this card, again from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, which is the Egg Moon card, because this moon, now it's sometimes called the pink moon, the April moon, and that apparently, I heard on the radio yesterday, is to do with the fact that in America, beautiful pink flowers bloom at this time of year. But it's also known as the egg moon, and I think there you can see this lovely duck there, which is next to her nest, and there's a little duckling there at the bottom, so it's about that spring birth, you know, we associate this with eggs and Easter. But also, the key word is trust. And as I said to a client yesterday, we have to be able to turn our fear into trust, because fear and worry, they don't do us any good whatsoever. Certainly not if we stay in that place for any length of time. But if we can replace that fear with trust over the next month, trust that whatever is happening for the right reasons. We can't fight it, some of it. We can accept it, do what we can, but trust the process. Trust that we will get through this. You will survive, and you will hopefully thrive as you come out of the other side. So that's my reading for you for the April full moon, which takes you through to the next month. If you've enjoyed this, please do share it with anybody you think would be interested, and do subscribe to my channel. It's a very teeny tiny channel at the moment. I only have a few subscribers, so you just hit the subscribe button and then you'll see a bell. So hit the top bell and then you'll get notifications whenever I put up a video. This is actually the first full reading that I've recorded in this way, and I'll be hopefully doing them on a weekly basis. So do leave a comment, let me know if you've found it useful, and please do pass on the word. So from here in Carnforth in northwest England, I send you love and blessings, and hope that you will join me another time for another reading. Thank you.